Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, we had some really annoying kids, blue splotchy virus, and some disappearing crewmen. It was weird. I really wasn't a fan of it.
No.
But this time, we are watching a story called Dagger of the Mind.
All right.
That's just a cool title.
I like the title. The title's really cool.
That's just a really cool title. Like, even if the story sucks, I like the title. I don't know.
It's got good title going for it.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to come back in a second with post-episode thoughts. Join us then. We're about to watch Dagger of the Mind. I really hope Helen comes back.
Yeah.
I really liked her. I thought she was actually a really cool character. And just a really cool episode in general. I really liked this one.
It was a very good episode.
Yeah, just a really cool episode. So we start off, this guy named Simon Van Gelder they're like beaming this cargo up and down between this penal colony, and this supposed inmate from the colony sneaks on board through one of the cargo boxes. And his name is Simon Van Gelder, and he sneaks on, and they incapacitate him, and they lock him away, and he says that he's not really an inmate, that he was sort of set up for this by Dr. Adams, who down in the penal colony.
Of course, everyone is like, nah.
Yeah. Actually, really interesting. I was looking this up as we were watching this. The actor that played Gelder in this only just died like really recently, but he looks super old in the episode.
Yeah, actually,
I was looking up. I think he was only like in his 40s when he did this episode. Like some like Ian McDiarmid Palpatine shit right there. You know?
I know. I was like, you told me that, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
The makeup department again on point.
Yeah, for real. So as far as the crew in this, we had a very limited crew. We had Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, obviously. And we had this new character, Helen, and we got a little bit of Uhura, and that's it. Very limited crew for this one, and Uhura was in like 2 scenes, one of which she said lines in.
Right.
So
I think we'll see her in most episodes, if nothing else, sitting in the background, because she seems to be the main communications officer.
Yeah. Well, you can tell by the microphone in her ear. You know?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, her main job seems to be like the top communications officer, and I'm like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So Helen and Kirk, they go down to this planet. They go to see Dr. Adams. But there's this little moment that we both like really reacted to, where Helen starts to talk about like, oh yeah, how like we know each other, and Kirk's like, yes, I know we know each other. Shut the fuck up. You know?
Yeah, exactly. It's Spock continually giving him the side eye.
I love whenever Leonard Nimoy has to do one of those scenes where he's like, I don't know how this feels, but fuck, I see it. Like, he just does like those like raised eyebrows, which is really funny because he has these drawn-on eyebrows.
Yeah,
in all these episodes.
But he's always constantly giving Kirk this look of not disappointment.
No, just like, really? You're that much of a man whore?
Right.
So they come down, and my first thought when they started like showing off these inmates was that like what Dr. Adams is like making the inmates like comatose or whatever.
Yeah. Which I mean, I guess is kind of true.
Yeah.
Depends on how you want to look at it, I suppose.
Yeah. But so something that wasn't really addressed though throughout the episode is that like Gelder keeps warning them that they're in danger. Like Kirk and Helen are in danger down there.
Right. Like they were actively in danger.
Yeah. And Kirk is like, all right, well, let's listen to Gelder or whatever. And Helen is like, no, don't listen to him. Everything's fine down here. And it's like, okay, maybe there could be something more to that, but they never addressed that. They never address that at all. It's just like Helen is just like weirdly trusting of Dr. Adams.
Right. But also, they wouldn't have been in danger if Kirk didn't decide to go snooping.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we're kind of glad he did.
Oh, sure. I'm just pointing out that, like, if Kirk didn't want to see how this machine worked for himself, he wouldn't have been brought there by Adams.
We also had a really cool bit in this episode where Spock uses this ancient Vulcan technique to go inside Gelder's mind, because Gelder like totally passes out and like isn't like giving off like any like brain signals. So Spock goes in his mind and like gets some more information out of him. And I really like that moment. I like just like, but there, in my opinion, there haven't been like enough moments throughout the whole series that really show how different Spock is from the rest of the humans here. And I like when they give those little moments to him where they like show like a different ability that he has from the humans.
Because he's, well, an alien.
Like Spock's best episode so far has been the naked time for that scene with Nurse Chapel.
I
love that.
It was a great moment for him.
So I like whenever we expand on like his alienness, you know. I always think that's really cool.
Even more interesting, at least in my opinion, it was McCoy who was like, no, please just do this.
Yeah. McCoy had some pretty good moments in this, actually. It was getting Kirk away from Spock and McCoy makes them not be at odds as much, it seems. Like when Kirk is away from them, they have to cooperate more.
Yeah.
They can't just be like this devil and angel on Kirk's shoulders constantly. Mm-hmm. And then, like, in this case, they have to work together. Also, I don't know why, I was just really amused by the idea of Enterprise Christmas parties.
Yeah, right.
They mentioned that a few times throughout here. Like, that's where, like, Kirk and Helen first met. Which is really funny, because, like, isn't the idea is that, like, Kirk vetted all these people himself? I mean, I don't know, that's what I've always assumed. But,
right,
I guess not, if they only just met at the Christmas
party.
Or,
like, he vetted them, it was on paper.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he didn't have to personally meet all 427 staff members.
Yeah. So, but this sort of... So Kirk goes into, like, this machine that Adams has. And, like, and Helen, like, gives him, like, these, like, little suggestions. It's, like, little things at first, like, oh, you're hungry. Oh, I'm really hungry now, whatever. But then she like, changes his memories of the Christmas party. And
what is it? It's so that...
well, the idea is that, like, what originally happened is that, like, she was coming on to him, and he, like, pushed her away.
Because he's the captain.
He is the captain, and he's in love with the Enterprise, or whatever.
Right.
So he's talking to her, and so, like, she changes his memories so that they actually, like, hooked up that night.
Right.
And but I don't know, I just thought that was, like, kind of funny. But like, actually, it kind of, like, an interesting aspect of these characters. One of the reasons, like, I really want to see Helen in the future, especially because, like, I don't know, I don't buy the Kirk-Janice romance.
I think it's superficial.
Like, it's nice when it's there, but it's more just like, oh yes, we are two hot people on the ship or whatever. Yeah. Like here, it seems like Helen had a genuine interest in Kirk, and Kirk pushed her away, and there could actually be a little bit more to their relationship. But
I mean, I'm not confident that'll ever come of anything,
or if she's ever going to be in an episode again.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Adams gets to him, and like he like gets into Kirk's mind and captures him and makes him in love with Helen or whatever, and so he captures them. Spock and McCoy come down. They break Helen and Kirk out of there. In the process, Helen kills a man. She kicks this guy into an electric fence, and I was like, wow, okay, I really want this girl back. I don't know, I really want to see her in a future episode. But then they find Dr. Adams, and he's just killed himself.
Yeah, like he's in the neural neutralizing room on the floor.
Yeah,
and then the machine's on like full power or something.
Yeah, and I don't know. They don't even say like what the theory is as to like why he did this or how he did this or if it was an accident, or I'm assuming he killed himself, but I don't know why. I can't really put that together.
Right, because they say like when the power came back on, the machine wasn't live, meaning somebody turned it on.
Yeah.
And I take personally, it just seems easiest to assume.
Well, he did it himself because no one else is around.
It seems easiest to assume he did it to kill himself, so he can't be implicated.
That's possible. But yeah, I don't know. The ending was just kind of weird for me. But I guess that about does it. Anything else on Dagger of the Mind? I think that about covers it.
Cool. It's a very apt title.
I just said it out loud again. I was like, that's just such a great title, and it works really well with the episode. So yeah, I guess that about does it. Join us next week when we continue the original series. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.